Hey, I'm GT, and welcome to the Stuff You Should Think About podcast, where I take interesting things you should think about and I break them down in just a few minutes. In today's episode, I'm going to discuss hostage negotiation. When people think about hostage situations, they picture movie scenes, a lone negotiator whispering dramatic lines, SWAT stacked on a door, everything happening in seconds. But real hostage negotiation isn't a Hollywood showdown. It's a system. It's a science. And honestly, it's one of the most structured, disciplined parts of modern law enforcement. Everything starts with the incident command system. Nothing happens randomly. You got two sides working at the same time. The tactical team and the negotiation team. And those two sides never mix. The negotiator isn't the guy threatening force. He's the calm voice, the buffer, the one person the subject can talk to without feeling cornered. That separation is intentional because the second the subject thinks the negotiator is also the person planning an assault, trust is gone. And negotiation isn't one person with a phone. It's a whole team. There's a primary negotiator, the one actually talking. Then there's the coach, listening to every word, catching emotional shifts, suggesting better phrasing. There's an intelligence officer digging into the subject's background, figuring out what's driving them. And there's a scribe logging every detail, every demand, every tone change, every timestamp. It's organized chaos, but it's organized. The backbone of it all is psychology, specifically the behavioral change stairway model. Negotiators don't start with persuasion. They start with listening, real listening. They use minimal encouragers, mirroring, paraphrasing, labeling. All the stuff that lowers the emotional temperature and gets the subject out of that fight or flight state. Once the subject feels heard, empathy builds. Once empathy builds, rapport forms. And once rapport forms, then you can influence behavior. That's the staircase. You don't skip steps. One of the biggest advantages negotiators have is time. Time is where it wears people down. Fatigue sets in. Reality sets in. The subject starts realizing their position isn't sustainable. Meanwhile, the negotiation team is gathering intel, mapping the scene, learning more about the subject's mental state. Every hour that passes gives the negotiators more leverage. And then there are demands. Hostage takers almost always want something: food, transportation, media attention, whatever. But negotiators never give something for nothing. Every concession has to buy something in return, even if it's small. Maybe they get food, but they release a child. Maybe they get water, but they show good faith. Needs get met to preserve life. Wants get filtered out so the subject doesn't gain tactical advantage. When you put all this together, you realize hostage negotiation isn't a dramatic showdown. It's patience, it's structure, it's psychology. It's a slow, methodical process designed to turn a volatile situation into a peaceful surrender. And most of the time it works. Not because of threats or force, but because communication, done right, is one of the strongest tools law enforcement has. Thank you for tuning in to the Stuff You Should Think About podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a comment wherever you listen to your podcast. And don't forget to follow the show. It really helps the podcast grow.